legislative session. I think it's the right direction for higher education in our state. And it's a means towards attracting more students to come to Connecticut and stay in Connecticut and lead a productive life after higher education. And we're going to give them the skills necessary to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And it looks like we are also live on YouTube, so we are officially official. Next, Representative Haynes, would you like to make some remarks? Representative, you are muted.
Hi, everybody. I'm just so excited to be here on higher ed. This is a committee that I actually asked about last year and wasn't able to join. So this year, here I am, and even as a ranking member. So very excited. Looking forward to working with Josh and Will and obviously Senator Turco, or I'm sorry, Senator Witkos and the other past leaders of the committee. So looking forward to the employment advancement part of our committee here and making sure that we do not only equip our students going into college, but also in other areas such as trade schools and apprenticeships. So those are all key areas that I want to focus on, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody.
Thank you, Representative. And to jump off of that, a number of folk on the committee have come to both me and Will and are looking really to lean into the employment side of this committee. So we don't have a lot of that on our agenda today, but that will certainly be a part of what happens in the future. I think the next thing we should go to are introductions from the rest of the members. And why don't we do this just in the way that it comes up on my participant list? And Representative Wood, why don't you kick us off?
Great, thank you, Mr. Chair. Terry Wood, I represent Norwalk Darien and very proud to represent Norwalk Community College. It's a tremendous asset in our area and I love this committee. Thank you.
And next, Representative Case. You are muted, Representative.
There it goes.
There we go.
Come off. Sorry about that. Representative Case, 63rd District. Excited to be on the committee. I was really looking for organizational, see how we're going to do things with votes and stuff today. So hopefully we can talk about that. And I do have other meetings fairly close to each other today. So I might not be able to stay on. And if votes are going to be held open, that would be great. But thank you.
Got it. Representative Acker.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Welcome to be back on higher ed. I think this is my going into my 10th year here. So honored to be back and looking forward to working with this committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Farrar.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Kate Farrar. I am a new legislator representing the 20th District in Southern West Hartford and excited to be here, particularly with the focus on making sure that we're really building the pathways to our high growth, high wage careers. So looking forward to working with you and great to be here.
Representative Haddad.
Thank you. It's good to be here again. You have served on this committee. This will be the beginning of my 11th year on the committee. Did serve in a leadership role for the last 4 years. One of the things that the pandemic robbed from me was the opportunity to express my gratitude to the nonpartisan staff for all of your work over the past 4 years. I'll do that now. The leadership of this committee, I think, will learn that they are outstanding professionals, and you can rely on them to provide you with great information and great drafting abilities. And so I look forward to continuing to serve on the committee. The agenda today, I think, is filled with initiatives that are important for the state. And I look forward to working with our new House Chair, Representative Elliott, and also with Senator Haskell and the other members of the leadership team, Representative Haynes, Representative Witkos. Moving forward, I look forward to a year that we can actually get some stuff done in higher ed.
Representative Napoli.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Ron Napoli. I represent the 73rd District, which is the west side of Waterbury. I'm honored to be on this committee and work with the chair and the co-chairs and the ranking members. In my own district, we have Norwalk Valley Community College, which is an important asset to Waterbury. We also have Post University, and UConn is also in our downtown area. And to make sure that the students and faculty thrive there is important to me. And I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Exum.
Good morning, and I understand I am, I don't know if my name is showing up properly there, but I had a hard time getting on this morning, but I'm so happy to see you all and to be a part of this committee. I was excited that this time round I came in through a special election, so I wasn't able to choose my committees the last time, but this is certainly an area of interest and passion for me, and I am very excited about being part of this journey. So thank you so much for welcoming me. I'm not sure if we were to tell our district, but I represent the 19th district, which is portions of West Hartford, Avon, and Farmington. Thank you so much.
Representative. Next will be Representative Rochelle.
Hi there, I am Representative Rochelle. I'm excited to be back joining this committee again for my second term. I represent Ansonia and Derby in the Naugatuck Valley, and I'm excited to be working on not just the higher ed portion, but the workforce development portion of this committee and all the opportunities that we have to really help get our economy back on track and help workers throughout this crisis, and looking forward to what we're building next for the state. Thank you.
Great. Representative Simmons. Representative Simmons.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you so much, Representative Elliott. I'm so excited to be back on this committee again, working with this all-star group. Welcome to all the new members and all the returning members, and just really looking forward to being a part of this committee. I think the work that we're going to do this session is so critical, especially with everything we're facing in light of COVID, making sure we're investing in our institutes of higher education and supporting students, and also investing in workforce development is so critical. So looking forward to being part of this committee, and great to see everyone virtually.
I apologize to the senators. You are coming last because S comes after R. So next will be Representative Smith.
Thank you, Representative Elliott. I'm happy to be returning to the committee. Like Representative Rochelle, I came in a special election and didn't have a choice, so I was very fortunate to get selected for this committee last January. And what excites me the most about it is that the things that we work on this committee, really all of them speak to the future of our state and the direction it's going to go, and its growth and its ability to retain talent. And I think that's a very important work that we're doing here, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm in the 48th district. I represent most of the town of Colchester and then portions of Lebanon, Windham, and Mansfield. So I have the University of Connecticut, Eastern Connecticut State University, as well as Quinebaug Valley Community College, all within towns that I represent. And so it's therefore very important to me that we work on the higher education aspects as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Next will be Representative Strozinski.
Good morning, Mr. Co-Chair. Good job with the name there.
Thanks.
JP Strozinski, second term on higher ed. Thank you for having the meeting this morning. I like these Zoom meetings, I got to be honest, able to get some stuff done at work. Looking forward to a good year. Thank you very much.
Ooh, Representative Stallworth.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Chair, and good morning to everybody. Delighted to be part of this committee again. I believe it's my third time on this committee, so I'm looking forward to working with a very important and productive part of our community. Thank you. Bridgeport, 126th District.
Gary, it strikes me I probably should have started with you as the vice chair, so I apologize. Representative Turco.
That's okay, Mr. Chairman. I'm very happy to be here serving on the Higher Education Committee again as vice chair and working with all of you. We started in 2019, my first term, doing a lot of great work. And then, of course, 2020, we got cut short. So I'm looking to continue where we left off. And a lot of the bills on the agenda are issues we may have passed last year and we'll have to take up this year and get them done. But I personally, I graduated from both a private and public Connecticut university, taking classes at several others. I work currently as an adjunct professor, and I'm a college admissions counselor at Connecticut universities, and I've worked at several other universities. So it's a personal passion of mine to make sure that our universities and college provide the best possible education and can help make sure that our workforce can compete with any state in the nation. And very excited about the work that we're going to be doing. So good to see everybody.
Thanks, Gary. Representative Vale.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. State Representative Kurt Vale. I represent the 52nd District, which are the towns of Stafford and Somers. This is my 4th term. This will be my 1st term on the Higher Ed Committee, and I look forward to learning some new stuff and working with some new people.
Great. And Representative Zyogas.
Yes, good morning. Chris Zyogas. I represent the 79th District, part of Bristol. This is my 3rd term on Higher Ed, and I've had the benefit of tutelage under Greg Haddad, so I know that I've had some good experience there. We had some very interesting issues that we took up last year. Workforce development, of course, is a big part of what's going on here in Bristol. We have a lot of small manufacturing, and we need to support that effort. And Tungus Community College is right next door to us, and therefore I have a strong interest in some of the agenda issues and what's going on in this committee, and I look forward to the rest of the session. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, move on to the Honorable Senator, Senator Flexer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is May Flexer. I'm a state senator from the 29th District, and like Representative Smith, I have all 3 levels of public higher education in my Senate district: Quinebaug Valley Community College, Eastern Connecticut State University, and the University of Connecticut. And I'm thrilled to be on this committee again, serving everyone. Welcome to our new House Chair and our new House Ranking Member. Welcome back to Senator Witkos, and welcome to all of the other members, and especially to our great Senate co-chair, Senator Haskell, who has just been an incredible leader of this committee over the last 2 years. I'm excited to see what we're going to do moving forward. I'm also excited to work with Representative Turco again, and with Representative Haddad, my partner in representing the great community of Mansfield. And I know that his leadership on these issues will continue as a member of this committee. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Senator. Next, we have Senator Lopes. We're going to miss you in the House, buddy.
Likewise. Thanks. Rick Lopes. I represent the 6th Senatorial District, which is all of New Britain, all of Berlin, and part of Farmington. I seat the CCSU is in the district, as well as UConn Medical School and UConn Dental School. Look forward to working with all of you.
And last but not least, we have Senator Moroney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm James Moroney. I'm the state senator from the 14th District, which is Milford, Orange, West Haven, and Woodbridge. I have satellite campuses for 3 private universities within my district. So the West Campus of Yale, University of New Haven has a campus, as well as Sacred Heart has the golf course in my district. Like everyone, I'm excited to be on this committee. Outside of the legislature, my professional career is working with high school students to prepare them for college. But I think that really the heart of this committee is making sure that all of our students have opportunities. And we know from the Strategic Planning Commission that 70% of the jobs in our state are going to require a post-secondary degree. So it's not necessarily a bachelor's degree. So that employment advancement part of this committee is critical as well, and it's critical for our companies. So I look forward to working with everyone on this committee and getting to work. Thank you.
I think that about covers it. Did I miss anybody?
I don't think so, but Mr. Chair, could I jump in briefly and first of all,
Great to see so many faces. Those of you who I know and those of you who I don't, really looking forward to working with you. I did want to acknowledge and recognize the nonpartisan staff who serve this committee. And they don't just serve, of course, the leadership, they serve every member of this committee, and they do so with unbelievable diligence and a depth of knowledge about higher education issues, for which we're so grateful. So really quickly, I did want to acknowledge Noreen Hashmi from LCO, Jesse Callahan from OLR. I'm just moving around my screen, so I apologize if I'm going in odd order. But we also have Mary Beth Sullivan from OLR and Janelle Stevens from OFA. And of course, our amazing, wonderful clerk who keeps us all on track, Jeannie Phillips. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
You got it. So next we have the concepts to raise. My co-chair and I were hoping that we could do this on consent. I think the next thing we do is just if anybody has any issues or concerns, now is the time to voice them.
Mr. Chairman, I think if we just probably just gave a little explanation as to the different concepts so folks know what kind of we're driving at and looking at, because sometimes the title doesn't tell the whole story. But I have no problem doing it on consent unless there's objection from any of the members.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm going to have to lean into Will a little bit for this because he certainly knows some of these better than I do. So I'm still very much onboarding. So we have 8 concepts here. The first was an act concerning sexual misconduct on college campuses. This is the campus survey, climate survey that Every Voices Coalition has been pushing. We are looking to do 2 years instead of 4. The colleges don't love this. And of course, we're always open to communication. So get in touch with us if you have any questions about that. Next is an act implementing the recommendations of the task force to analyze the implementation of laws governing dyslexia instruction and training. The task force has put out a very robust document. Jeannie's actually on that task force as well and will be helping lead us through that. Will, do you know any more to explain what would be on this? I'm not trying to just throw you under the bus at all. I don't really have the comprehensive understanding of this yet.
No, it's no problem at all. Obviously, today we're just raising a concept. We know that incidents are on the rise in the K through 12 environment, and we believe that better equipping teachers to prepare these students for success in the classroom is going to be critical. So we're going to be digging into the task force recommendations and hopefully putting pen to paper. But again, this is just a concept that we're raising today. And I would encourage everybody to read the task force report. It's tremendously interesting, and there was an immense amount of work that went into it.
Thank you, Senator. Next, we have an act concerning minority teacher recruitment student loan subsidy program. As it sounds, we have an act allowing CHEPA to issue bonds on behalf of Connecticut-based healthcare organizations. Well, do you want to explain a little bit what that is? Did you catch that, Will?
I'm so sorry, Josh. The video cut out for a second. Could you say that one more time?
Just explain maybe a little bit about the CHEPA number 4, the bonds on behalf of Connecticut-based healthcare organizations.
No problem at all. This is largely technical in nature and passed, I believe, in a bipartisan manner out of committee. It actually passed the Senate on a bipartisan manner as well. It has to do with the amount of financial information that CHEPA is allowed to consider when they are making bonds to healthcare. When they are issuing bonds to healthcare organizations that probably exist largely in Connecticut, but may have branches outside of our state borders. We want to make sure that CHEPA, as a quasi-public, has all the information to make the best decisions possible. Again, there is no potential liability for taxpayers under the legislation that passed last time. If that were to be redrafted, of course, today we're only considering the concept of doing so.
Thanks, Senator. Next is 5, an act requiring training for the members of the governing boards of institutions of higher ed in the state. I'm not sure about you, but a number of professors have been reaching out to us concerned about the progress of the mergers or the merger. So this is just to ensure that people that are on that board know what they're doing. Next, we have an act concerning the unfunded pension liability portion of the fringe benefit costs for employees of the constituents units of the state system of higher education. Will, you want to explain a little bit about that?
I'm happy to, although I'm hardly the expert on this committee about that issue. It's something that Representative Haddad has worked on for a long time. I'd be more than happy to allow him to jump in. And then, of course, Senator Whitkos has raised this issue as being critically important to protecting the success of our higher ed institutions. The long and short of it is our institutions are not as attractive for research grants, and And unfortunately, students are being forced, and their families are being forced to pick up the cost of fringe benefits through increased tuition. But Senator Witkos or Representative Haddad, do you want to expand on this concept?
Yeah, I'll just add, I want to thank you for raising the concept again. This is an important issue, and it's not an easy one to sort of figure out how to resolve. But the unfunded pension liability gets assessed to agencies based on the number of employees that they employ and their salaries. And so, as a consequence, just the legacy cost of unfunded pension liability, which gets assessed against all of the employees of our state agencies. And when those state employees are paid for out of clinical revenues, as they are out of the University of Health Center, or out of tuition revenues, as they are at the state universities, then the comptroller's office assesses the institutions for those legacy costs. And it is, that system has led to a significant burden being passed on from the broad general fund obligation to individuals who are paying tuition and clinical fees. And so this is a difficult issue to try to resolve, but it's an important one to highlight and talk about. I think that we need to understand what the impacts are of how we pay for our unfunded pension liability, which is not due to any of the decisions that are currently being made either at the health center or at our institutions, but we're an unfunded pension liability that is accrued due to the mismanagement really by governors and legislatures in decades past. So I'm grateful for the leadership for raising the issue and look forward to discussing it at a public hearing and a committee meeting in the future.
Great, Representative, thank you. Number 7, an act concerning completion rates at private occupational schools. Is Senator Witkos still on? Senator, do you want to explain what you're thinking here?
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I spoke to the governor's workforce, and they were commenting on the work that they've been doing to promote higher education in our state, streamlining issues. And one of the things that they updated on was the concern that the private occupational schools only have a completion rate of single digits. And to me, that's very concerning, where a lot of our students are going there to receive certifications to go on into the workforce. And if we're only completing it in single digits, I would like to know why and get more information. So it's kind of an open topic to bring those folks in, find out if there's something that we can do from a state policy perspective, or what is the inherent reason why kids are only, or not kids, but students are only completing it in the single digits.
Great, Senator, thank you. And lastly, we have an act concerning reciprocal agreements for military members and their families. Representative Haynes, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is concerning the reciprocity of employment licenses for military families when they're moved from one state to the next, so that they can continue working and find work, as opposed to having to go through a whole process of getting relicensed and recertified here in the state. So that's all that is, just to make sure that we can keep people working.
Great, thank you.
Also, can I also interrupt and make mention that when you spoke of the act concerning sexual misconduct on college campuses, there's actually 2 components of that bill. You had mentioned the survey, but you didn't mention the amnesty portion of the bill, which I think is the most important. The amnesty portion of that bill says that anybody who is able to speak on a sexual misconduct, whether they're drunk or they've been on something or whatever, none of that will come back to them. So there's amnesty for those students that so they can help, start whistleblowing on these people, and they don't want to be judged, or their thoughts are not. Can't think of the word. I'm sorry. They're that they can report without getting in trouble. So that's what that part of that. There's 2 parts of that bill. So just wanted to make mention of that.
Very important. Yes, thank you, Representative. I appreciate that.
No, yeah.
So before we go to voice votes, I just want to give some time again if anybody has any questions or concerns.
Could I say something?
Please go ahead.
Again, just again for the record, by voting to move forward with these things as concepts doesn't mean necessarily that we support them down the road, but that we're going to open this up for a conversation and move forward. So I just wanted to say that for the record.
Great, Representative. Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, if there aren't further comments, I'd like to propose a motion to add items 1 through 8 to a consent calendar.
Second.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, we don't do a consent calendar. We just do a voice vote with these.
My mistake.
So Jeannie,
That's what you have me here for.
is that an individual voice vote for every single item, or can we do a voice vote for all 8?
You can do a voice vote for all 8.
All right, would you like to amend your motion, Senator?
I would like to make a motion to have a voice vote on items 1 through 8, please, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second the motion.
Great, Senator, thank you. Just as a reminder for everybody, to have your vote counted, your camera has to be on. I'll give people a quick moment to do that.
I don't know how to turn my camera on. Zyogas.
Jeannie, I don't know how to resolve that.
If you go to the bottom, am I on? Okay, if you go to the bottom portion of your screen, very bottom,
yeah,
you will see 2 buttons that come up, one that says mute and one that says stop video. You should be able to hit the mute button, and you should the stop video button, and you should be able to see your lovely face.
Well, that's a debate.
Did you find the stop video button?
Yeah, I see it, and I've done it in the past, and it's not worked for me. But why don't you go ahead without me? It'll be okay.
All right, and we'll keep votes open too, and you can communicate with Jeannie if you come back later. So let's go ahead and vote. Do we do this?
Well, you have to say what we're voting on.
So we're voting on concepts 1 through 8 right now, and everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Everybody against say nay. The motion passes. I think we're all set. I think we're done.
Representative Elliott,
You have to ask if there are any opposing.
Are there any opposing? Okay, hearing none opposed, the motion passes.
Mr. Co-Chair, could I recommend that the committee remain in recess with votes held open for a period of, I'm sorry, votes will not be held open. To hold attendance open for a period of 1 hour. I believe we have full committee.
Senator Haskell, we have everybody here. I've checked everybody off.
I withdraw.
Higher ed gets a gold star.
Woo! I just added a quick note to committee members, though, that our intention is to keep votes open for a period of 1 hour. Generally speaking, it will require the committee clerk to remain actually live on Zoom for a period of an hour. So we don't want to, disrupt her day excessively. And we think that an hour is reasonable for folks to hop on and off the Zoom. So generally speaking, that will be the etiquette, although it's not necessary today.
Great, thank you, Senator. And with that, we have a motion to adjourn.
Sorry, quick question. As in other committees, is the clerk going to send out a text when a vote is being held open and for when the hour is to close? I have 2 committee meetings at 10 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday, so it's going to be difficult. But in my previous committee, our clerk is going to be sending out texts when they're going to be open to and how long he or she will be on.
Representative Case, it's been my practice that I send an email to everybody who has not voted, but this year I'm going to email. That's why I asked everybody to send me their cell numbers. So I'm going to email and send text to everybody who owes a vote.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Josh, I don't think you can adjourn because if you're holding the votes open, you'll have to recess for an hour, then you'll have to come back in either you or will to close it. But if everybody's voted, there's no reason why we can't adjourn.
Thank you. Senator Haskell, do you agree? Jeannie, so we can adjourn now, correct today? We're good?
Yes, you can adjourn.
Perfect. So does anybody have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Thank you all. We'll see you all soon.